Hello everyone, welcome to my 10-day adventure on the Erie Canalway Trail. On this solo self-supported tour, I rode across the state of New York on my folding bike, the Brompton Sea Line Explorer. I started in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and ended in Albany, New York, United States. In episode 1, I rode from Niagara Falls to Erie Canal Lock 33, where I camped. In this episode, adventure continues. Good morning from Lock 33 along the Erie Canal. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's going to be a hot day again today. I broke down camp already. I'm having breakfast, drying my tent. There was a lot of humidity this morning. The lockmaster allowed me access to this building to clean up, as he said. I must have looked very rough. I continued along the Erie Canal until I reached the charming village of Pittsford, a beautiful spot that took my breath away. I stopped often to admire the quiet beauty of the place. I passed a crew member clearing up the trail. I'm not sure what happened, but a tree was down and it was quickly taken care of. I didn't know it then, but fallen trees would become a lot more common in the coming days. Let's take a look at where I've come from and where I'm going today. So I stayed at Lock 33, passed through Pittsford. I am now in Fairport taking my sweet time, and I am heading to Lyons. Outside of the village of Fairport, the Erie Canal Trail now followed the historic canal route. I noticed a change in the riding surface. The trail was rocky at times, and I had to choose my lines carefully to make sure Brompton's 16-inch wheels didn't get caught in the rut. This is Lock 30, and I think this one would make a perfect camping location. There's the porta potty right over there. There is fresh water right over here. I'm sure at the building there will be electricity. Lots of room to camp, garbage bins everywhere, park benches, and beautiful views. Approaching Palmyra, I came across my first detour of the day, which took me off the quiet waterway and onto a busy road. Luckily, the signs were clear and led me right back to the trail. The detour that followed, around Swift Landing Park in East Palmyra, was a bit more complicated. I took the scenic route, meaning I got on the highway to bypass this road closure. While I did take the recommended detour, I also bumped into another cyclist who did not, so I probably could have ridden right through. At the end of the day, I veered off the trail towards Lyons to find my warm showers host for the night. Day 5 of my adventure, let's take a look at where I'm heading. Right now, I am in Lyons, and I'm heading to Whitesboro today. I started another beautiful day along the trail, but detoured quickly to have breakfast at the Tokar's Diner at the trolley station. Highly recommend the place if you're looking for delicious food. Fueled by amazing breakfast, I continued onwards. Update from the road. I'm just in the town of Montezuma, and I stopped and knocked on someone's door because I'm running out of water and it is so intensely hot. So today I've been pretty much mostly on the road. There was a section outside of Lyons that was on the trail, on a separated trail, but aside from that, it's been road riding. And the roads are great condition, great shoulder, a lot of climbing in Savannah. So a bit of a more physically demanding day in comparison to the rest of the trail. But so far so good. We pedal on. A quick message from my tent. It's 8:30 p.m. and it is 29 degrees Celsius right now. And I am quite literally baking in my tent. This is the reality of camping when it's really hot outside. Just gotta sweat it out. All right, at least it's good for the skin, right? Day 6 of my Erie Canal Trail adventure. Today I am expecting a fair bit of rain. I am also looking forward to this rainfall because it will cool off. It already has. There's a pretty significant weather cell coming this way, and as a result I may have to change my accommodation plans. I found this shelter along the Erie Canal Trail. I really don't know where I am right now. The Sims Store Museum offers a lot of historical insight about the Erie Canal. You can also buy narrated boat tour tickets here. This would make for a great side excursion, as the boat passes through the restored 9 Mile Creek Aqueduct, originally built in 1842. As I rode along the shores of Onondaga Lake with a busy highway next to me, it became very apparent that I was heading straight into a big city. Syracuse was up ahead. I was apprehensive about riding through Syracuse, as North American cities are not known for their cycling infrastructure, but I shouldn't have worries. Syracuse turned out to be very easy to navigate. I followed the beautiful Creek Walk Trail downtown and paid attention to trail markers throughout the city. For anyone interested in learning more about the history of the Erie Canal, the Erie Canal Museum is located in Syracuse. Leaving the city, I got to ride in the middle of a busy road on a fully separated, bi-directional cycle track. This was really excellent urban cycling. Outside of the city, the trail took me to the Old Erie Canal Historic Park, and I was riding along the canal again. It was there that I bumped into Ed, a local cyclist. We rode together for a while, and it was wonderful to get some local insight into the area. Our time together ended in Canastota at Zem's ice cream shop, which ended up being closed for this season, but trail magic is real, and the owner offered us soft serve ice cream on the house. That night, I stayed at the Quality Inn Motel in Canastota. Just leaving Canastota now. I made absolutely the right choice last night to stay in the motel. It was incredibly rainy, and I was expecting today to be a lot cooler, but it is not. More rain is expected in the forecast, so today I am heading to stay with a warm showers host. Okay, let's keep riding. I am currently following the Old Erie Canal State Historic Park. I left Canastota. I am now at the Lenox Basin, and I will just continue all the way to Whitesboro today. In Oneida, I came across another aqueduct, aptly named the Oneida Aqueduct. This one was completed in 1856, and it straddles Oneida and Madison County lines. I wasn't familiar with aqueducts prior to this trip, and the best way to describe one is to use the highway overpass analogy. An aqueduct channels the canal water over another body of water, in this case the Oneida Creek. Without the aqueduct, water from the canal would spill into the creek, which would then change the flow of the canal. I continued along the Old Erie Canal State Historic Park until I reached Lock 21, where a surprise was waiting. A large barge was just approaching the lock station, and I got a front row seat to witness the entire process. Absolutely fascinating. On the other side of the canal, another surprise, as I spotted a group of riders also following the trail. One of the riders made his bike panniers out of cat litter boxes, a great DIY solution that is fully waterproof and very cost-effective. As usual, silly times and a photo session followed. I love meeting other cyclists when I tour. Continuing towards Rome, no, not that Rome, I came across a lot more fallen branches and tree debris on the trail. The previous night's storm had left its mark. This would only get worse in the coming days, but I wasn't aware of that just yet. On approach to Rome, I got a bit lost, and I'm not entirely sure if the path I followed was the actual trail. I found that trail markings here were less than ideal. Exiting the city was slightly confusing as well, with "Trail closed, use detour" signs on both sides of the trail. But nothing a bit of meandering couldn't solve, and a short while later, I was back on the trail, riding through a heavily wooded area towards my amazing warm showers host in Whitesboro. If you watched until the end, thank you so much for watching. And can you spot anything different about this cat? Look at his paws. It's a polydactyl cat. Have you seen one before?